We talked a lot.
Yeah. We started off talking about LastPass, but that's just a massive,
We veered so
what?
quick left, just like
Yeah.
instantly.
But brought it back full
You
circle,
did bring it
and
back
we
full
ended up
circle.
shilling for Bitwarden this
Love them.
episode.
Yep.
Love them too. Money, please, Bitwarden. Um, but it was an interesting discussion about doing things yourself versus paying for services and the convenience, and how kids these days just don't have the gumption they used to.
Nope, they don't.
Nope. Okay, so we're going to attempt to revisit the story. The I can't swear in the first 15 seconds, can I? So
Yeah.
the S storm, the cluster F,
The shoot storm.
the yeah, that is
The
the
fudge
whole
fest.
LastPass debacle.
Yeah.
Because they released some extra information this week, and there's been a bit more digging into exactly how effed up they are. How are we going past 15 seconds yet? Are we going to get
Yeah, you can swear now,
demonetized?
I think. I'm pretty sure you can swear. Like, this should be a sum
Yeah,
up, but this should be a summary, I hope, for the LastPass shit saga.
yeah. So there's a bunch of different details. I asked Sean about this earlier because it's quite confusing, right? There's a lot of details, and they're doing their best, it seems, to obfuscate everything
Yeah, my God.
and
Wow.
make it, not very clear. But basically, there was an employee who got hacked by a phishing attack, and his vault was compromised, and that gave access to all sorts of other passwords.
The corporate
Um,
vault that LastPass
corporate
employees
vault,
were using to like share passwords and shit
yeah, which is the height
and
of
secrets.
irony,
Yeah.
given
Yeah.
that last
So
this is what
funny.
LastPass is and does is it's a password manager basically. Um,
Insane.
yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just it's so bad and so terrible and so awful that I don't really have words to kind of express just how rubbish it is. And we keep on hearing from people. So there was one article by a guy called Chame Sanders. Chalm. I'm sorry, Chame, if you're
Chain.
watching. Or
Oh, Chaim.
Chame.
Oh, it's a Jewish name.
Okay, I'm not going to try and say that,
That's
but
fine.
whatever John just said. I don't want to.
Mr.
I mean,
Sanders.
Mr. Sanders, yes. Mr. Sanders wrote an erudite message on Medium, and he talked about how they generate the passwords and how there's a technical implementation white paper that LastPass, how LastPass vault passwords are generated. Goes into a bit of detail, and then he comes to the conclusion that basically, if you want to fix things based on their single sign-on, their SSO implementation, because the K1, which is a part of the password generation algorithm, doesn't change, and it's the same for the whole organizations, and is available to every employee who ever set up or used your enterprise's LastPass. To fix this, you need to defederate and refederate each and every one of your users. So that means that you have to basically kick everyone off, and they all have to, which for a single sign-on service is really bad. um,
I
I
don't
don't know. What do you
get
think?
how they've lasted this long. That's my problem. Okay, I was fooled 4 years ago into believing that 5 years ago that LastPass was an okay password manager. Signed up, started
Yeah,
using it, accumulated like 150-ish entries on LastPass. Then I was like, wait, LastPass is trash, and moved off of LastPass.
uh-huh.
So I totally get how so many companies and people were convinced that this is the password manager to use because their features were really good, but their security practices seem to have just been god awful. Like, over and over again, they've just been plagued by this. Maybe it's time to say go to, or whatever the parent company is. Maybe it's time to shut the door on fucking password management.
So I just had a quick look. Well, this is the thing with centralization comes with problems, but also convenience. A good thing that Mike isn't here. We haven't mentioned Mike yet this episode.
That's
Hi,
true.
Mike.
That's true.
We
Yeah.
hope you're having a great time wherever you are. Apparently, sorry, I was going to talk about the centralization thing. So it's convenient, right? It's easy.
Yeah.
It also offers features like password generation and secure. It is a good way of ensuring that you can have complicated passwords everywhere, and you don't reuse the same password everywhere. But you do. There's an element of trust into it, right? You're saying, I trust this company, and LastPass have just proven themselves that they're not trustworthy. So I think the convenience thing is still winning through, right? Either people don't know about this, or they don't care enough, or they LastPass have done it. Apparently, their valuation at December 2019 was 4.3 billion. So they're bigger than I
Is
expected.
that go to or just LastPass?
LastPass.
Wow.
LastPass's latest post-money valuation, that's a great term, is from December 2019, and it was $4,300 million.
Yeah, so like now I assume it's way less.
Yeah,
2019, that was like in between hacks. Because what, 2015, I think was the first hack or something. And
just had
yeah,
time to.
yeah, just fucking
Just,
bottom. And
yeah,
it's just some. So this whole LastPass thing actually inspired me to, because I'm on Bitwarden. I've been on Bitwarden for a long time. It's a great password manager. It's also one of the only password managers that is both open source and has a cloud hosted um, option. So I was using them in their free tier. I was using them and they're great. I love Bitwarden, but it kind of triggered me to this LastPass thing, triggered me to take that final plunge and self host. I've been very scared of self hosting my password management because you're really relying on yourself.
yeah.
But I felt that if there's anyone to blame, it should be me in the event of a compromise. I should not keep trusting these companies, no matter how good they are. And Bitwarden is very good. So I took that final step. Please don't hack me. And um, not that they're gonna be able to. I'm doing it on locally, so you can't access my vault from outside on the web.
Well, those are famous last words, John. Honestly, uh, my
Please
friend,
don't hack me.
you like. There's always these situations that we imagine that we set up and we think, oh, nothing could go wrong, right?
Right.
You've
Everything
considered
can
every
go wrong.
angle. Yeah. And then you find out that there's some like weakness in the cipher that you've chosen, or there's a 0 day in the OS that you're running,
Right.
or there's a man in the middle attack on your router that decrypts your SSL. This, or last person who lived in your flat has installed a spy camera that's watching you
Sure.
right now behind you. Actually, I can see it. Um,
Watching me
yeah,
type my keyboard.
it, it
Um,
it could, there's so many like things that
yeah.
could get around it,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and you can't plan for every situation. This is a risk assessment that So
But you can minimize risk, and minimizing risk for me was get off cloud hosted, vendored type service, self
yeah,
host, and do it locally only.
I,
Um,
you're a big fan of that stuff, though.
which part?
The whole self-hosting thing,
Oh yeah, I love it. I think it's so crazy that it's like you're really swimming against the current.
Yeah.
Because we've gone so far in society in the digital age that we're now starting to let go of physical devices with, for
Oh, I got.
example, Google Stadia and other cloud hosted gaming services. Like we are just, and then of course the subscription model across the board. Ownership is yesterday, subscriptions is today, and supposedly the future. And I fucking hate it. So
Hang on. Sorry, let me. I need some I need a sharpie or something, and do a bit more stubble and give myself a bit of a mohawk. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to let go of my. He's not really that
no, what's
accent.
it? He's definitely not
I
Southern.
love my convenience.
What's his
What is he? How does he
what's
talk?
the fuck? What's the
It's my
exercise app? Alto?
exercise
No,
Strava.
what was the
I don't
AI
know.
the like the I don't remember. Whatever it was
That was
called.
my mic impression by
It was
anybody.
great.
That
I've
was
got it right away. Yeah, yeah. The Mohawk really set it apart. Um so I get it. It is very convenient. And I think that with convenience of these types of serviced solutions where you have everything set up for you, you don't have to worry about a thing. You're trusting in these companies like LastPass to do things the right way, and
Do,
sometimes they fucking just straight up don't do it the right way.
do you know what you remind me of, John?
Tell me.
You remind me of one of those hippies
What?
who like grows their own tomatoes in like tin cans at home and goes, but it's so easy. Everybody can just grow their own tomatoes. What are you talking about? There's no. You've probably got a couple of chickens in back in the
I
flat,
actually
right?
want that.
You know. Yeah, I knew it. See, I knew it. I mean, not that that's a bad thing.
No,
I
no, no.
think
I
it's
get what
good.
you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. I think we're forgetting to be self-sufficient. Now, not to
Yeah.
go into like some doomer spiel or rant about this, but um yeah, we're just not relying on ourselves anymore. We're not trusting in ourselves. Oh, but it's so much easier to just let someone else do it. And for some things I'm totally cool with that, right? Like you don't want to do yard work. You want to hire someone to do yard work because it's worth it to not go outside and do yard work. Fine.
And
You
not
don't
not
want
just
to.
hire someone, but like hire a company to do it for you.
Right.
A
So you're
franchise.
a franchise, a service. Like there are some things that is, I think, sure. You're not gonna go set up your own fucking internet, right? Like you're gonna let someone else take care of that. There's
What?
some
Why?
things,
You're halfway there. You want to run your own local DNS server, your own. Probably,
yeah.
have you got your own email server? You want to
No,
do
no, I don't have that. I haven't gone.
media
The reason
storage?
I'll
I
tell
bet
you
you've got a
actually,
media
of
farm.
course, the
Yeah,
reason of the
your own
reason I
Netflix.
didn't go for the email server is because the maintenance of the email
Oh yeah,
is so sleepy
yeah.
that it's like you might as well just there. So there's some things that I think is fine to let other companies handle, and then some things that
Email's a lost
you should
cause.
handle. Like, yeah, I do have my own file server. I do
Yeah.
host my own DNS. I do host all of these various things, and now my
See,
password manager. Like,
you made a joke about running your own internet. You're halfway there now.
well, I'm not gonna run the shit. I did run cable in the house, but I'm not gonna like run the. You can
Oh,
actually see it, right?
there we
Right
go.
there up in the corner. You're
Ah,
you're not gonna like go outside and trench out a fiber line, you know? Well, some do.
I bet
Um,
you would if it was
if
easy
I
enough,
had the
wouldn't you?
means, I totally would.
Yeah,
But
you fucking would.
I'm not, I'm not a fiber optics engineer, so I don't know exactly how all that stuff works on the nitty gritty. But yeah, I think we're just letting go more and more, and Netflix figured that out. I could give them that coin.
Yeah,
Netflix figured out right around the time Spotify did as well that yo, fuck selling these things or renting them. Let them subscribe to them. And then
yeah,
it just
that's true.
exploded. And now it's, Microsoft took the same approach. We used to have to buy Office licenses. Adobe
Oh
used to take
God,
the same approach. We used to have to
yeah.
buy Photoshop licenses or, DC Adobe PDF viewer and PDF editors. Like those were purchase licenses for life.
But to bring it back full circle, well,
Sure.
sort of almost full circle.
Sure.
That's one of the reasons why Bitwarden is so good because they do offer that option of the convenience factor, but they also have an open source version of their software which allows you to self-host,
Yep.
which is just
And
fantastic.
the cool thing is
And
Bitwarden. So sorry, I'm just gonna
money,
say,
please,
yeah,
Bitwarden.
yeah. So Signal owes us money. Bitwarden now owes
Yeah,
us money. But the cool thing about Bitwarden is they're a company. They make money. You can go buy their enterprise level or business level, get support, and they'll host everything for you. Um, but you can also self-host the enterprise version, pay them money for the licenses, and you take care of everything else. But they've allowed you. This is the coolest part. They've allowed you to fork their enterprise
yeah,
and host it yourself. Something that most people use is called Vault Warden, which is a fork of Bitwarden's enterprise. So you get all the premium features, and Bitwarden hasn't locked their code, so you can have Bitwarden on your phone connect to your Vault Warden forked instance. It's just such a fantastic company.
open
They're
platforms,
not they're
man.
not there. It's an open platform. They're not there to gatekeep you. They're there to say, you don't want to fucking deal with it? Not a problem. Pay us. Not a problem. We'll handle everything. You do want to deal with it yourself? Not a problem. We'll help you do that. And to
Yeah,
me, that's super cool.
it is. It's very cool. It's very cool. I wish there were more companies doing the right thing like that.
Yeah, agreed.